Hey, what is up, guys? Bluntcuts here. This is a Watcher of Realms video. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. We got some banners coming. And I'm going to tell you right now, before you get any further, I don't think you should pull on any of them. I don't think that this is a good time to pull. I think you need to be waiting for Wukong, and I think there's going to be a great banner alongside Wukong as well, so even your Divines, I would not be pulling on that. I guess the Nascent is very nice, especially if you are close to Mercy or in Mercy, then that might be something that you want to go for, especially since it is Divines and not Rare, so it's not going to take away from your Wukong summons. But, I would just kind of caution you that before you do that, I would go and I would check out what the heroes are. There's a bunch of calculators out there. You can figure out what your odds are as far as the Nascent is concerned, and figure out exactly what the odds of getting the hero that you want are, and just be cautious, because I checked out mine and I'm like 91% chance to get a common bucket legendary. Got like a 7% chance, 8% chance to get the hero that I do want. So, or one of the heroes, I should say, that I do want. Not even really. It's really like a 2% chance. There's one. I'm only missing Morgan among the normal lords at this point, and she is like a 2-point-something% chance, and I just can't. I can't do it. I would be unhappy with pretty much every other hero that I could pull in there. It does not make sense for me. Maybe it does for you, though. As far as the Surprise Invocation of Spirits and the 1+1, I'm going to lump those two together and say don't pull. Don't pull. If you're looking for a specific hero, then pull on the Choose Your Own Legendary banner over here. Don't pull on the 1+1. You're more than likely going to get two heroes that you're not going to use very much. Even if you are early game, I would recommend that you save your summons for Wukong. Bottom line, he's going to help you out more. Stunt your progression for a week, and then reap the rewards afterwards, because I guarantee you in a month, having Wukong is going to push you further than not having him. So, do what you want, obviously. I know some of you are not going to, you just want to pull, and I get that, but I don't think that you should. Now, I'm going to spend most of this video talking about this banner, and I'm going to go through the heroes that I do think that you could potentially pull for. I'm going to try to be brief. So I'm going to go over to the gallery, and I'm going to go through the heroes that I think that are worthwhile to pull for on this banner. Again, with the caveat that I don't think you should be pulling, period. But if you were dead set on pulling, let's go take a look at the ones that I think are worthy of being alongside Lyra. All right, first one up, and by the way, I am going to go in the order of what I consider to be the worst heroes to the best heroes. So we're going to start off low, we're going to end up high. So Lucius, yeah, he's great. He's a good hero, but the only reason that you really would want to pull for him is very specific instances. If you're at the point where you're trying to progress in Guild Boss 2 and you don't have Kagiri for whatever reason, then pulling for Lucius makes sense, because he is going to give you that spell. Only Kagiri and him can do it. So if you need that to push past the Aegis phase, then I guess you could do that. But again, I don't know. I wouldn't want to. Well, I've already told you how I feel about Wukong. I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. All right, next one up is Silas, somebody who that about a year ago, I think I would have many content creators would have told you is one of the best heroes in the game. He's still fantastic, still is crazy at pushing your account. I think the earlier in progression your account is, the more value he does have for you. Unfortunately, he has kind of fallen out of the meta late game. He's certainly not great in GVG anymore. He's used far more sparingly in Arena than he used to be, but he is one of the best burst damage heroes in the game, and he completely ignores all mitigation. No defense can stop him. So, he's a great hero to have. He's somebody that you want in your tool belt, but he's just not somebody that I use all that much anymore at endgame. So I think the earlier you are, he's going to help you push content a lot. So he's going to help you kind of get past some of the hurdles in the game, but I don't think you're going to be using him forever, and that I think diminishes his value. Kind of in a similar spot is Hex. I love my Hex. Unlike Silas, Hex is useful late game. And you know what? As I'm thinking about it, Silas is using some codexes and things like that too. So, there is that. But Hex does way more damage than Silas at endgame. He's got way more, I guess, growth potential than Silas does. Hex is able to, through his awakenings, some of the best awakenings in the game. He has the best exclusive artifact in the game, and he does just a ridiculous amount of damage. A ridiculous amount of damage against everybody except for super high magic resist targets. So, Yeah, I think Hex is 100% somebody that you want in your account. The one caveat I will say is that he's one of Moonton's favorite heroes too, and he does seem to appear on a lot of banners. So I don't think you're gonna have to wait more than 2 or 3 months for him to pop up again at some point. So, you know, if you're trying to min-max here, I think that you're probably better off waiting again. But he is one of my favorites, and I could certainly understand if you want to get him on your account, especially if you already got his exclusive artifact waiting in the wings. Yeah, that would be hard not to pull for him. But all right, next up is Arrogance. He is one of the best fighters in the game. He's one of the few anti-air fighters in the game, and he's really one of just 2 anti-air fighters that can do any kind of AoE damage with him and Ymir. He is great. He is great. I feel like he's been power crept a little bit. I don't have him A5. I have him A2. I was super excited about getting him. When they did the Lust and Arrogance banner a couple months ago, I went hard on it. I did like 1,400 summons on it, and I pulled 3 copies of him. I was super excited about it. He has not really been used all that much since I grabbed him, unfortunately. Great hero. I just think there's other options at this point. Unless you specifically need an anti-air fighter, then he is not somebody that is going to really change things for you at endgame. I don't know if there are any codexes that he's really used in extensively. I think you could use him in Conqueror potentially, but he's not in the meta there. You could use him in Arena, but again, he's not in the meta there. He's not really in vogue in GVG defenses anymore either, largely because it's relatively easy to avoid his ultimate, and that is a problem for him because he becomes much more potent when the ultimate is active, like most heroes. But he is one of these heroes that is very reliant on his ultimate to do crazy damage, and so if you can dodge the ultimate, then he becomes much easier to deal with. But he's a really good hero at the end of the day, and I do think that, you know, there are going to be uses for him going forward. Just because we don't have the content where he is like the best at it right now doesn't mean that that won't be the case in the future. All right, we are getting into my top 3 now, and all 3 of these heroes in the top 3 are very useful in endgame. They are used a lot. They are heroes that I use a lot. So, number 3, Constance. She is phenomenal. Great hero. One of 2 inspiration, or I guess like big time inspiration providers in this game. We've got some healers that do provide lesser versions of inspiration, but she is just really, she's a ground-based Dolores. She's a legendary Dolores. I'd say she lost a little bit of value when Dolores got her exclusive exclusive gear, because now Dolores does not have RNG, which used to be one of the things that Constance was better at than Dolores. Constance does have better stats. Constance has the potential to provide higher attack than Dolores does. And I think probably the big thing, especially since not all of us, but many of us just got Praetus a week ago. What day is it? Praetus banner feels like a long time ago all of a sudden. But since you did get... I did it again. I'm just assuming everybody did. If you got Praetus, then Constance could be a big piece in that Arbiter team that you are trying to build. So if you don't have her, I could get it. But I certainly wouldn't pull for Awakenings of her or anything like that. If you've got a copy, I would skip it. But she is somebody that I could see being worth going for, depending on what your goals are in this game. Arena, GVG, lots of codexes, lots of competitive content. Constance is really big for us, so I could see why you might want to pull for her. Let's go to number 2. And we're back in the Nightmare Council. Lady Hatsit is the pick right here, and she is just so good in so many different areas. Not so much in codexes, really. She's really good in Arena, really good in GVG. She is somebody that you can use all the way to the end game, and she's kind of like a cheat code in a lot of areas as well. She's got a very unique ultimate, does a crazy amount of damage. Certainly somebody that you want in your account. Like most of the other heroes that are on this list, if you already have a copy of her, I would not recommend that you pull for her. But if you've been waiting for her forever, and this is your opportunity to grab her, I could certainly understand it. Wukong's a better hero. Say that as somebody who's played with her. Played with both of them, I should say. But really good hero. Love Hatsit. Very unique character. Worth it. I think we all knew I was going to end up here. Elowen is the number 1 hero on this list. She is, honestly, I'd say the only hero on this list. If you don't have her, I could see why you might want to pull for her over waiting for Wukong. Again, still think you should make sure you have 200 summons for Wukong to get at least 1 copy, so you can use Soul Stones on him if needed. But Elowen is so crucial in the end game that, and for progression in this game, that I think you need to have her on your account. If you don't have her, I could certainly understand why you would pull for her. She is one of the best healers in the game. She is certainly the best rage regen hero in the game. She just it does crazy things and completely enhances every unit that you deploy on the map while she's on the field. So it's very understandable why you would want to grab her. Not to mention the dispel and everything too. And she's so crucial for Guild Boss 2. There really isn't a comparable unit to her that you could bring to the table for Guild Boss 2, which is kind of the most difficult content in the game right now, I would say, aside from like Void Rift Epilogue. Guild Boss 2 is a little watered down from what it used to be, but it is still challenging, especially if you're trying to progress through it and you're an earlier account. So you need Elowen. You need Elowen on your account if you want to keep playing this game for very long. So if you don't have her, toss her on this banner. Cross your fingers. Go get your green lady. I got one more I want to show you. Don't think he's going to be on the banner, but if he is, somebody else you might want to consider. Let's go take a look. I don't think that Ajax is going to be available on this banner, but if he is, then he's certainly somebody that you could make the argument for, especially as a GVG or arena hero. He is used in a lot of the top teams. Now, he needs awakenings, but you can't awaken him until you get a copy of him, just like I was talking about with Wukong. So I would say if you don't have him, then he might be somebody worth putting on this banner if he is available. Many times, Moonton has said that he is a lord, and yet unpolished soulstones do work on him. I don't know. I doubt he's on there, but if he is by some chance available, then this might be somebody you want to pull for. So that is the last one that I will say. And then, finally, let's go take a look at Lyra real quick. Here's the thing. I don't think that she's special. She does some really cool stuff. She's got a lot of magic resist ignore stuff, and she provides the best magic resist debuff in the game, which is minus 30%. The only other hero that does that, as far as I know, is Ajax, and Ajax is not really functional unless you're trying to do AoE damage somewhere. So, as a single target mage, we don't have a lot of those in the game. I kind of got distracted by Wukong when I was starting to work on her on the test server, so I will kind of circle back to that probably on Saturday, I would say. But, I just don't think that she does enough. What is she enabling? You got to think about what you're going to do with these heroes. She's good. I don't think she's a bad hero. I just don't think that she's worth skipping out on a hero that I think is going to be the best for their unit type in the game, which is Wukong. So, that's my perspective. I feel like I've been shrugging a lot. You do what you want to do. But I will be waiting for Wukong. That is my plan. In any case, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel, for watching me kind of talk at you for the last 10-15 minutes. I do appreciate it. Please do like and subscribe if you do enjoy my content. It really does mean a lot to me when I do see somebody sub or give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel a lot and makes the effort that I put into these videos really worth it. So thank you in advance if that is something that you can do. But if I don't see you, happy holidays. Christmas starts on the 27th this year. That's Wukong's banner date. Just FYI, in case you missed that. Kind of excited about it. I will catch you all next time.